got further complaints about the post 9/11 unconstitutional police state that is budding as you sheep continue to be quiet and let it happen. First of all, I almost got in a major wreck a few weeks back. Meant to talk about it in my last video, on the corner of Interstate 10 and Executive Center Boulevard. I'm still new to the area, or was then. I was only here about a month. And I need to make a left turn. But we can't just be vigilant on the road anymore. We have to be vigilant at red lights, because these red cameras, which are not as accurate as you think they are, will give you tickets and charge you money. Complete violation, by the way, of your Fifth Amendment rights of incrimination given into these, and I will always fight them. And back then I didn't know that the sign, photo enforced, was that clearly marked at each intersection. So I treated each intersection as the potential of having these cameras till I knew better. Well, the turnoff onto Interstate 10 doesn't go at a normal 90-degree level. It goes at kind of a 60-degree level. I had to kind of hook into it. So I'm out in the intersection. It's green, just so that I can maneuver into this turn. But I'm watching the light, see, because I'm so worried I'm going to get caught in this computerized red light bullcrap. So it lowers my safety level. Well, the light turns yellow. I make my turn, not realizing it hooked in a different direction. I ended up right at the wall. Some jackass in a red pickup decides he wants to run the red light and go right through my path because he thinks I'm about to make the turn. I end up at the wall, and he has to go around me, nearly hits me. And this I fault to this money-making, unconstitutional government machine that's more interested in making money off of you at these red lights than it is in your safety. And it's unconstitutional. If you ever get one of these tickets, take it to court. Declare your Fifth Amendment right against incrimination. There is no witness to accuse you of this crime, and people have gotten off by doing this. It's unconstitutional. Take these to court every time. The other complaint is this Border Patrol, very corrupt agency under an even more corrupt agency, Homeland Security, which is a misnomer and a joke. It's actually a device created by these evil men in power, Cheney and Bush, to eventually create a Gestapo type agency to control the nation. They're waiting for a whole generation of children who are being taught how to live under police state at our schools to just give in someday and not understand their rights. But that's what this is. And Border Patrol, very corrupt, always getting caught running drugs, shooting people in the back. Horrible people. I saw in Montana an awful Border Patrol truck. Brake lights were out, no emergency lights on, tailgating people, speeding, weaving in and out of thick 5 o'clock in the afternoon traffic. Complete jackasses. And I want to put on record that these people are scum, nothing less than fascist scum. And another complaint is this so-called crackdown on DWIs. This attempt to get as close to checkpoints as possible is a violation of your Fourth Amendment right of unreasonable search and seizure. They're trying to come as close as they can. New Mexico with outright checkpoints, Texas with near checkpoints. The way that they're so aggressively approaching people it's about control, and it's a violation of your Fourth Amendment right of unreasonable search and seizure. If you are overtly bothered by someone, by a pig, a cop, to stop you because he thinks you're drunk, you claim your rights. He'll probably try to arrest you, but go ahead and claim your rights anyway. You'll win eventually, and you protest this kind of activity because this is based on the fact that this is based on this trying to go after the general public for drunk driving. This is based on this so-called notion that they have probable cause because a lot of people are drunk. No, probable cause goes example by example. You have to have probable cause per person before you can do anything to that person. Tailgate them, follow them, anything. So you protest these random stops and these tailgating you and following you and all this business, these checkpoints. If you're in New Mexico, you protest this. It's unconstitutional. This in Texas, they try to use these bottlenecks to slow you down, and that's a violation of your freedom of movement, your constitutional freedom of movement, of the Fourth Amendment protection against unreasonable search and seizure. Protest this sort of thing if they stop you. Protest it, protest it, protest it. I know a lot of you out there don't understand our rights. A lot of you are a bunch of foreigners who feel lucky to be in this country anyway. You don't get why this country is such a great place. It's because we've had rights. In spite of wars and dangers, we've always had rights. Our rights superseded all problems. It superseded the War of 1812, the burning down of the White House, two great wars, a civil war which almost destroyed our nation, bird flu which killed 2.5 million people. We've always had our rights, no matter what. That's what made us stand out. That's what made people feel free to move about. That's what made our economy so great. This idea that these fascist people have today, that our rights should be stolen in the name of peace and security, is bullcrap. If you believe the Bible, you'll read that in the last days they will declare peace and security, but there will suddenly be none. And don't listen to these creeps. And thank God it's less than a year before someone else is elected. I'll take anyone over these creeps. Anyone. These people are for torture. They're for stealing your rights. They're for everything. They're for a dictatorship. They're corrupt. And cops are following in their footsteps because they're given new power. And someday they're going to get, all these people are going to get theirs. Our legislators will get wise, because it's not going to take much more before people really get upset. People are being tasered and killed every day in this country. In Canada, one person was tasered and killed, and the Prime Minister and the Governor of British Columbia apologized. That never happened in this country. In Baltimore, the very same day or the day before, a guy who was just having a verbal argument, wasn't even a police matter, was forced to the ground, and the cop told him to put his hands on the ground, and the guy kept saying repeatedly, there are witnesses, "My hands are on the ground, officer. My hands are on the ground, officer." And the cop ignored him and tasered him 4 times, and he died. And there's not going to be an apology. In fact, they said they did the right thing. Cops are scum. All they are is an extension of Irish gangs that came into this country illegally in the 1840s. That's all they are. They're firemen and cops. They're just a gang, old Irish gang invention made good. That's all they are. If you know your history of old New York and old Chicago, you'll see that that's all it is. They convinced the general public that they deserve this power just because they made up these uniforms. If you look at old pictures of Irish gangs, watch the movie Gangs of New York, they look just like cop uniforms and fireman uniforms. It's undue, unconstitutional power. We need to fight it. Things have to get worse before they get better, and someday we will win, people. Someday the Puritan ideal, the New England ideal of liberty over all will win again. That's how it's going to happen. So goodbye, and you cops can go fuck yourselves, every one of you.